Bonjour, buenos dias to everyone. It's Tom Padula from TomPadulaTV on YouTube and Insegna Booksellers. And it's Friday again, and I will be doing the ninth lesson with French and Spanish as my companions. Now, reflecting on all this, I've got 5 minutes to talk about the development, if you like, of the things that I do and where this journey ends or keeps going. Because at the end of the day, things do start and finish. And what happens, basically, welcome Colin, thank you for coming on. I'm doing my 5-minute spiel of the things that I do, so forgive, we'll start at 11:30 exactly with French and Spanish. And I was reflecting on this journey again. My French, this is the ninth lesson. In other words, we've been here 9 weeks now. And in these 9 weeks, I've already noticed my French is improving with each passing week. And my Spanish, I've had difficulties remembering the numbers, the days of the week, the months of the year, etc. So when that happens, I thought to myself, you just got to keep going, and I'll introduce some other element in order to distract myself from the things that I don't remember, basically. And I think it's a good technique. When in trouble, change activity. That's it. Today we're going to do scène 7 of Les Femmes Parlent Trop. And I said these lessons here, presentations of French, are available in Insegna.com in the blog section. And they've been divided into categories. Now, when I try to access my these lessons in other parts, in other words, I have the live on Facebook, Insegna.com, YouTube, and TomPadula.blogspot.com. When I go into those areas here, not this one which is live, the other 3, and I use Chrome, it doesn't work that well sometimes. So when I use Safari, bang, I've got it there. And the reason for that is that Safari and the owners of Apple, I think I'm not sure, but certain, if you can't get it one way, try to go on another platform and try to get these. So that's important. So a knowledge of the techniques, the technical aspects of online, and the better your phone, whether it's a Samsung or iPhone. But at the end of the day, all these companies, they looking after themselves as well, and they have a duty of care to the people who support them. Therefore, they have to come up with new things, and as a result of that, we have to keep up with it all. But it's almost impossible on an individual level. So the key element here is patience. And that patience here you must use for the learning of the language. And you do need consistency. In other words, practice beats grammar. But without the grammar, you can't improve or better the practice. That's from my Italian lessons 1 to 20, already moving on with those ones there as well. So it's 11:28. What else can I talk about? The other thing too, it's important to have a mix with online presentations, or in business as well, and that personal touch. That's why I now go online in order for me to talk about Insegna.com in a physical sense as well, because there's a warehouse here full of books. And what I try to do now is try to mix the two so that I will help a few people. So I would need to meet these people here occasionally in my local area in some of the Italian clubs where, you know, I go dancing, this and that. I try to keep active as much as possible. So that's basically it. My encouragement to you, if you're not here, you're from another country, to adopt some of these techniques for yourself in your local area. It's very important indeed. And yeah, we 11:29. It's good. It's good. I'm enjoying it. Thank you for those people who come on when I'm on live. And I thought one other things. I have the need now to do some specials. In other words, even whenever I feel like it, I'm not going to announce anything. I'm just going to go on and do the Tom Padula special live on Facebook. So in other words, it could be geography, it could be astronomy, it could be anything at all. But I don't want to commit. I just will do it. The time will always be 11:25. Monday to Friday, you know, whatever, really 7 days a week. If I have the time and I feel like it, I'll go on and do a special. You won't know, but if you check up on me at 11:25 each day, you know, this is Melbourne time, then you'll be able to access the specials as well. So, let's start. It's 11:30, okay? Les femmes parlent trop. That's the book, you remember? And of course, before I do anything else, have my water. And it's cool too, those bottles. Fantastic. That's the bottle there, see? Those ones are really quite good. I used to use the plastic, but that's better. Okay, scène 7. You remember we had the salesman last week, this week here? Let's see what happens. There's Blanche, Georges, Claire. There are three characters in this scene. Bonjour, Georges. Ma sœur et ma petite nièce. Ils courent à leur rencontre et les embrassent sur les deux joues. Je ne savais pas que vous étiez en ville. Pourquoi ne m'avez-vous pas écrit ou téléphoné? Je serais venu vous chercher. Blanche s'assied à gauche de la table, Georges à gauche du centre. Claire se promène dans la pièce en regardant. Blanche, nous ne le savions pas nous-mêmes avant hier soir, et nous avons essayé de te téléphoner de la maison de santé, mais la ligne était occupée. Claire, mon oncle, vous avez laissé le récepteur décroché. Elle le raccroche. Georges, c'est vrai que je suis distrait, tu as dit la maison de santé. Blanche, oui, mon mari est malade. Georges, ce n'est rien de grave, j'espère. Blanche, je crois que non, une sorte de dépression nerveuse. Georges, ah ça, les hommes ont tant d'ennuis. Peut-être que tu l'as éreinté en parlant trop. Il sourit. C'est ce qu'il dit, elle rit. Il est nerveux. Don't forget, after this, I will come back and we'll do it together again. Georges, il est plutôt sourd, aveugle et égoïste. Mais tu comprends, je l'aime bien. Blanche, oh oui, il est si bon. Mais où est Manon? Georges, elle est partie aujourd'hui pour aller faire une visite à sa sœur à la campagne. Blanche, oh, comme c'est dommage. Je voulais la prière d'aller voir Thomas une fois par jour pour l'égayer un peu. Il admire ton Manon. Georges, elle l'aurait fait avec plaisir, clignant de l'œil à l'assistance. Mais ne pourrais-je pas la remplacer? Oh oui, Georges, je t'en prie, il sera si content de te voir. Claire, maman, n'oublie pas que tu m'as promis de m'emmener au ciné. Blanche, oui, et vous, nous devons partir, se levant. Qu'est-ce que tu feras, Georges, pendant l'absence de Manon? Georges, avec une souris tendre, un peu de tout. Je compte beaucoup travailler pour faire plaisir à Manon. Blanche, le nouveau roman marche bien? allant à la porte. Très bien, merci. Blanche, au revoir, Georges. Elle l'embrasse. Claire, au revoir, Uncle George. Uncle George. So, now it's your turn to see how we go, whether we know all the words, okay? So here we go. Let me put something in the front. Well, maybe I'll use the French. Yes, that's it. Another book, see? I'm doing this. See that? Okay, let's go. Blanche, bonjour, Georges. Now, that's easy enough, okay? I'm not going to translate it for you. Georges, ma sœur. Oh, you should know that. My sister. And my petite niece and my young niece. Ils courent à leur rencontre et les embrasse sur les deux joues. He runs to meeting them and hugs them on both and hugs them or embrace. Well, he hugs them and kisses them sur les deux joues. So it's understood that, you know, if he embraces them, he's going to kiss them, of course. The French. And how many times? Once, twice, or three times? We don't know. Je ne savais pas que vous... I did not know that you were in town. Pourquoi ne m'avez-vous pas écrit au téléphone? Why didn't you write to me or ring me? Je suis venu vous chercher. I would have come to meet you. Vous chercher. Je serai. Hein? I would have come. What's that? Huh? A conditional. I would have come. Not I will come. I would have come. So it's a conditional. It's not a future. So you have to learn the verbs. And as I said, you know, you need to do this work, otherwise you can't improve it. Okay. Je serai Blanche s'assied. So Blanche takes a seat à gauche de la table, on the left of the table, of the desk. Georges, of course, he sits down in the center of the desk. And Claire, that's the young niece, se promène, walks around la pièce, you know, the room, looking at the various items. You know, she's curious, she's young. She wants to know. But Blanche knows all about it anyway. So she's concentrating on talking to George. Nous ne le savions pas nous-mêmes avant hier soir. We did not even know ourselves before last night. Hein? Et nous avons essayé and we tried to ring you at your house. No, we tried to ring you from La Maison de Santé, from the health or from the hospital, not quite a hospital, like the doctor, at the doctor's room. Claire se promène, sorry, mais la ligne était occupée, but the line was occupied. Claire, mon oncle, bang, is here, we got the reason. Uncle, you left the receiver off. How could we ring you if you left the receiver off? You can't say ring us off and then you take the telephone off. Of course you can't. Elle le raccroche. She puts it back on. So the telephone is on now. Le raccroche. I thought initially that she was telling him off. He said she doesn't. She just puts the receiver back. Claire, mon oncle, vous savez laisser le... Okay. Georges, that's true, que je suis distrait. I am so distracted. Tu as dit la maison, and it changes again. You said the hospital room, or the doctor's room, Blanche. Oui, mon mari est malade. Yes, my husband is sick. It's not nothing... Ce n'est rien de grave, j'espère. Ce n'est rien. There's nothing there of... It's nothing serious, I hope. J'espère. Present tense, eh? Ce n'est rien de grave. Je crois, Blanche, I believe, not, que non. You sort de dépression nerveuse, a sort of nervous depression. Je dis, ça, hein? And then you're going to make a joke. Les hommes ont tant d'ennui. the men are so annoyed, you know, they're so bored, you know, they've got to do things. Peut-être que tu l'as éreinté en parlant. Perhaps you brought this on because you speak too much. Les femmes parlent trop. That's where it comes from. And he smiles, il sourit. C'est ce qu'il dit, Blanche, c'est ce qu'il dit. That's what he says. All the men think that women talk too much. Elle rit, she laughs. Il est nerveux, he's nervous. There was a couple of ils courent à leur rencontre. He hurries to meet them. Maison de santé, hospital. Or an hospital is an institution of charity, etc. Doesn't matter. That was the note. Georges. Il est plutôt sourd. Il est plutôt sourd, aveugle, égoïste. He is more like deaf, blind, and egotistical. Mais tu comprends, hein? But you understand, I love him so much. Now, that's wrong. Oh, no. George actually, he says, I understand, but I love him dearly, you know, because he just criticized him. He is, I thought it was going to be Blanche that said that. Instead, George is saying he's going to offend him first, and then he's going to make it up. Il est plutôt sourd, aveugle, égoïste. And you know, Blanche must look at him. You know, this is theatrical here. You've got to tell Blanche, the actress, to reproach him with her looks. George, what are you saying? And then he turns around and says, mais tu comprends, but you understand, I love him dearly. And Blanche says, okay, I understand. Oh, oui, il est si bon. He's so good. Mais où est Blanche? But, change again, but where is Manon? Georges, elle est partie aujourd'hui pour aller faire une visite à sa sœur à la campagne. She left today to go to see her sister, to pay a visit to her sister in the country. Blanche, oh, what a pity. Comme c'est dommage. You can use that phrase. Oh, comme c'est dommage. Oh, comme, you know, when you speak English, instead of saying, oh, what a pity, say, oh, c'est comme dommage. You know, something like that. So you mix the languages a bit, and it reminds you of what you can do. I got to use that myself now. Je voulais la prière d'aller voir Thomas. I wanted to pray her or ask her to go and see Thomas une fois par jour, once a day, pour l'égayer un peu, to give him joy a little bit. Il admire tant Manon. He admires so much Manon. She's a goody-goody, of course. Elle l'aurait fait avec plaisir. She would have done it with pleasure. Clignant de l'œil à l'assistance. In other words, doing a sort of, clicking his eye. L'assistance is his niece. You know, he brings her in. Says, oh, you know, there she goes. Mais ne pourrais-je, but couldn't I replace her? He says to Blanche. George is quite willing to do that. He's already taken on another job, mind you. So he's going to fill his days with things he has to do rather than write. Oh, oui, George. Yeah. Oh, yes, George. I pray you. Please. Il sera si content de te voir. You know, this other guy here, Thomas, would be so happy to see you. Claire, Maman. Mom. You've forgotten that you promised me to take me to the cinema. No. Yes. N'oublie pas que tu m'as promis de m'emmener au ciné. Blanche, oui, et nous devons partir. Oh, yes, of course. You know, don't keep going with that. Let's go. We have to leave. So, getting up. Qu'est-ce que tu feras, Georges? What will you do, George, during Manon's absence? Georges, avec un sourire tendre. George with a tender smile, a little bit of everything. Je compte beaucoup travailler. I'm really trying to work a lot, you know, quite hard to make Manon pleased. Of course, he's pleased. Manon doesn't. Oh no, she went away to give him time. So maybe he's right. Le nouveau roman, the new novel, is it going well? allons à la porte, going to the door. George, yes, very well, merci. But before he's been complaining that he's not going anywhere. But he's going to lie, of course, to please his sister-in-law. Au revoir, Blanche is au revoir, hein? George, elle l'embrasse, she hugs him. Claire, au revoir, goodbye, Uncle George. And that's the end of this particular job. We've done it in a quarter of an hour. It's amazing. All right. Now, what you can do, Colleen, here, really, I really do suggest, if you are interested in learning French, and you come on every time, to get this book here and get a couple of people and just read through it. And whenever you have a difficulty with the pronunciation, etc., go back to my lessons in insegna.com, go to Safari, bring them up, and revise the scene. That's it. If you want to ask questions about anything, you can. I'll make arrangements somewhere. I don't know where people live, where I can do the French. Okay, in one of the Italian clubs, I'm sure. I was speaking to somebody this morning. I'm going to go to a dinner dance. The networking is full on at the moment. All right, until things are established, then I'll be too tired to even breathe. No, but I enjoy what I do. All right, here we go. Sorry, I left it on purpose, in a way. Okay, so that was Les Femmes Parlent Trop, scene 7. And what's today's date? Well, let me. What's today's? It's the 8th of April. Yeah, next week will be Easter. Okay, now let's go from here, Les Femmes Parlent Trop, to the French. I want to do some other, some words. That's important. The two things, okay? The house. Let's go. La maison. Huh? The house. Oh, hello, Maria Jose and Jeremy Costanzo is watching it. Welcome. You just missed out on the reading of Les Femmes Parlent Trop, but you'll be able to pick it up later. Okay? Now we're doing la maison. Le toit. Le plafond. Le plancher, la salle à manger, le salon, la cuisine, la chambre, le lit, la télévision. So I stay on it for a little while so that you can, when you revise, you can do this. And then that's, la maison is the house, the roof, the ceiling, the floor, the dining room, the lounge room, the kitchen, the bedroom, the bed, the television. Okay? Let's do the next one as well. La radio, la cheminée, le feu, le fauteuil, okay? So the wireless, the fireplace, the armchair, the wireless, we don't say that anymore, it's the radio. Le journal, the newspaper, le tapis, the carpet, la lettre, the letter, l'envelope, the envelope, and le vase, the vase in English. The garden, we'll just do this one and that's it. Le jardin, the garden, l'herbe, the grass, l'arbre, the tree, la branche, the branch, la feuille, the leaf, la fleur, the flower, les fruits, the fruit, le fruit, the piece of fruit, la pomme, the apple, la poire, the pear, la pêche, the peach, le verger, the orchard, l'arbre fruitière, the fruit tree, la terre, the ground, or the earth, la pomme de terre, the potato. I'm not doing any more vocabulary now because I thought we're doing France and we never look at France, okay? Now let's start looking at France itself so that we learn something about the country. And here is a map of it. Have a look. That's it. And Corsica is in it as well in this book. Not bad, huh? Thanks to Napoleon. But Monaco is not. Huh? It's an independent state. Monaco, just a little city, but that's it. Now, if you look up close, you look at the northern part, very close to Calais, Dunkirk, Boulogne, very close to England. Deep Picardy, in Belgium is Valenciennes, Rennes, Lorraine, Champagne, Lorraine. That's near Belgium there. Alsace. So when you're talking about Champagne, Alsace, that's, famous areas, these ones. That's where World War I was fought, along here. Okay, Burgundy. And so, when we do Anzac, they will go to these places here. Reims, Valenciennes, Metz, Strasbourg. Okay. Burgundy is further inland. Then Normandy, again, this part here, Picardy, Normandy, and Brittany, all close to Britain. You come back here, further down, and there is Spain down the bottom here. Okay, so the Andorra, Languedoc, near Spain. Montpellier is near Spain. So if you got to study in Montpellier, you can quickly go to Spain from there. Okay, and then the other one, this other side, is of course Italy, where Monaco is Italy. And, and the Mediterranean Sea. So in the middle, we got Aquitaine. Lyon is right in the middle. And Mont Blanc is shared with Italy, but they put it on the on the side of the French and Switzerland. Oh well, Switzerland is there too. Grenoble, the Alps here, a lot of rivers there because of the snow in these areas here, all mountainous. Okay, so that's France. Now when you study French, you also do the influence of French in the world. I will come back to that some other time, because now I've had enough for France. We're going to go to Spain today. Okay, so let's go. So that's it. That's Spain. Now that's French for today, and I haven't mentioned the other languages for now. I'm concentrating on this. I'll come back. I'm looking at Turkish and Chinese. But one of these days, I'll actually show you the various the various scripts rather than the alphabet. And by the way, I'm doing in the world history. I've come to. I did Crete on Thursday, and I will be doing Phoenicia, which is north of Israel or Palestine, in the northern part. I always thought that the Phoenicians came from Libya. Instead, they didn't. Their Carthage in Libya was only a colony of Phoenicia. And the Phoenicians are reputed to have begun our alphabet. So that's good. Okay, now what shall we start with? Shall we start with something new from France? Well, let's do the fruits, and let's do the fruits first. And then we'll revise the days of the week, the months of the year, and the seasons. Let's do fruits in Spanish. Here we go. Frutas y nueces. Albaricoque, which is an apricot. Almendra, almond. Avellana, hazelnut. Cereza, cherry. My sister says, the C is pronounced this. Cereza, cherry. But CH is ch. So, chirimoya, custard apple. I think I'm right. Ciruela, plum. Dátiles, dates. Fresa, strawberry. Higo, fig. Limon, lemon. Manzana, apple. Melocoton, peach. Melon, melon. Membrillo or membrillo, I'm not sure, I have to check. Quince, naranja, okay, naranja, orange. Pasas, raisins. Pera, pear. Piña, I think the N is not like the GN in Italian. Piña, because there's that little thing on the top. the cedilla, they called it. Pineapple, platano, platano is the banana. Because there's an accent on the A, so you can't say platano, you have to say platano. It's banana. Sandia, watermelon. Okay, toronja, grapefruit. Toronja, uvas, grapes. Will you remember? I don't know. Let's do them in Spanish. Like this, you learn the pronunciation. Albaricoque, almendra, avellana, cereza, chirimoya, ciruela, dátiles, fresa, higo, limón, manzana, melocotón, melón, membrillo, naranja, pasas, pera, piña, plátano, sandía. Notice the accent on the I. Toronja, uvas. I have to check now with the Spanish people whether my pronunciation is correct. And you could actually participate in helping me if you have Spanish friends. Say, listen to Tom Padula, and let's see whether he's correct or not. Because I'm renowned for, in the singing, for making mistakes, and all the musicians and the singers, they all criticize me. What are you doing that for? You got to get it perfect. No, you don't. You got to get it wrong first. Then you get it perfect. Okay, let's go with the numbers. Hold on. I've got the numbers here closer in this other place. There we are. Look at this. Huh? Teach yourself Spanish. See that? Lots of books. I can't guarantee that I've got a lot of Spanish books, but the only Spanish books I sell are the ones that are online. These ones here are all part of my treasure. Without these, I'll be... Okay. 0, 1 o una, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And I think the other one that the numbers, they said that you can say 16, 17, 18, 19. You can do it two ways, but in this particular grammar book, there's only one way. Okay? Now, we're going to look at, the numbers here. See, remember? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc., etc., okay? We'll learn the others later. Now, we want to know the months of the year and the seasons, la semana, the days of the week. Lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, domingo. Okay, let's do it again once more. Lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, domingo. Now, without, let's put something on top, like this, the days of the week. Lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, domingo. See, I think I know those ones there. Now, let's have a look at the next one. The months of the year. Enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre. I'm not going to try to remember these ones because I know that a couple of them I'm not quite sure yet. I'm not quite sure. So we'll have a look. Okay? Let's do it again. Enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre. And finally, the seasons. This is an interesting one because la primavera is like in Italian, but summer in Italian, l'estate, in Spanish is el verano. El otoño is autumn. Otoño. The end with that thing on top, I think it's got the new sound. El invierno, el invierno. Well, we have to learn these ones. Okay. La primavera, the spring. El verano. And I've got a book called El Verano. El otoño. El invierno. Okay, so we've done the days of the week, the months of the year, the seasons. Okay, and it's 11:59. So I've done pretty well today, and I didn't do a song. I wish I found the song for Spanish. Where is the Spanish song? Here, must be here somewhere. Where on? Here, we can watch French. Here we are. Well, let's do this one here, okay? We did it last week. Dios como te amo. En el cielo pasan las nubes que van hacia el mar. Parecen pañuelos blancos que saludan nuestro amor. Dios, como te amo, no es posible tener entre los brazos tanta felicidad. Besar tus labios que huelen a viento, nosotros dos enamorados como nadie en el mundo. Dios, como te amo, me dan ganas de llorar, en toda mi vida nunca he probado un bien tanto valioso, un bien tanto verdadero, que pueda parar un río que corre hacia el mar. Las golondrinas son el cielo que van hacia el sol. ¿Quién puede cambiar el amor, mi amor por ti? Dios, como te amo, un bien tanto valioso, un bien tanto verdadero, que pueda parar un río que corre hacia el mar. Las golondrinas en el cielo. Okay, that's enough. Now, I know that I made a few mistakes, both in the singing and the pronunciation. But if you don't do this, and you're not willing to make those mistakes, you will not learn. And when people laugh at you, because they're too stupid to understand that you are learning another language, you could have some people who laugh. When my wife Nella went to Sicily in 1971 or whatever, before she met me, she spoke English, but she didn't speak Italian or Siciliano per bene. And they used to laugh at the way she spoke. And it was done in good fun. But if you're sensitive, it's like criticism. When you criticize me, or you used to anyway, I felt something inside. But now, it's like water off a duck's back. On that note, au revoir, à la semaine prochaine. From Tom Padula of TomPadulaTV on YouTube and Insegna Booksellers. Thank you for your company to Corinne and Maria Jose and anyone else who comes during the week and later on. Ciao.